Alright. Today we're just going to get into it. Give me 1 second as I have to do a couple things in Discord that I forgot to do before starting stream. It'll just take a second. So, looks like I'm good. We're just gonna get straight into it. Alright. So, let's rock, shall we? Welcome back to Talkin Tanks. We're on episode 5. Here's where I'm at. Could not update those 2 videos. The last one went directly to YouTube, but is hidden like I said it would be until I get the other 2 uploaded. So after stream, I'm just gonna upload them and label them as unedited. It could kind of, there's only like 2 or 3 small bits in one, and the other one I'm not sure. So yeah, that's basically where we're at. So after this, all the episodes will be caught up. But for now, let's just get into things. Today I'd like to talk about the T110E4 line. This was my, very first line that I went up in the game. It is so good. I say so good. It's definitely been power crept a little bit. I'm sorry, I'm doing some real quick. Excellent. Sweet. Okay, that's reactivated. So, yeah. If we're looking at the tech tree, T110E4 is the lower of the American TD line, branching off the T6 medium to the M8A1. So that's where we will begin our journey, is the M8A1. Howdy, Gwym. We're talking tanks. I'm glad I was able to catch someone early. I thought going early would mean I'd have no one watching. So yeah, M8A1. Pretty solid tier 4. It has several guns. I think the best one in my opinion is the little 57mm due to its insane rate of fire. You also have more DPM than any of these other guns by about 300. Well, this is a derp gun, so it doesn't count. You have to pen all your shots, but it has more DPM than all of these. And your rate of fire is insane at 2.4 seconds. It's got next to no armor. It's decently camoed. Not a lot of view range, but I don't have a decent crew. But it's tier 4. And how you doing, Gwyn? Minus 10 degrees of gun depression. You couldn't really... I mean, this is a pretty good tier 4. We're just gonna roll with it. You're good? Have a good weekend. Writing some papers? What you writing papers on? Tanks? That's what we should all be writing papers on. I wish it was tanks, right? So today I think I'd like to do something a little different. I'm going to play some of the tanks probably twice to just fill some content. Obviously I don't have a lot to say about the lower tier, so we're going to probably spend a bit more time at higher tier. I believe there is 2 premiums and a reward tank that we can play as well that fit with this line. So we're going to do that. It's on mechanosensitive ion channels and their rules, and that is for way smarter people than I. I'm going to turn myself up a bit because I'm a little quiet. There we go. Nah. Well, that's bigger words than I ever want to see. Mechanosensitive. Perception. Vibrations. Ion. That's what makes it sound the most smart. Ion. In typical World of Tanks fashion, it is morning, and I'm playing at pretty low tier, so it could take a moment before we find a battle for this. I'd say if you enjoy playing low tier, M8A1 is definitely the one to go. It is a nice little seal clubber. The following tank after this is the Wolverine, which used to just go up the T110E4 line, but then was moved to go up the... both. It goes up both lines. They took out the T67, which we would normally be playing if they didn't rework the tech tree, so no T67 today. I don't think I ever truly played through that line. You have to use fancy words in the paper. Yeah, but if you can use the fancy words a lot, it takes up space on the paper. Well, let me know if you hear my AC. I have a fan on, and it looks like my mic's picking it up, but I can't tell how much. So if it's bothersome, let me know. Hey, Racer. So as you can see, M8A1, fairly agile. I mean, it's kind of nimble. It's a small tank. As you can see, it's not the most accurate thing, though. But ultimately, it is about some protein channels and important to Okay, can't hear fan? Excellent. This thing carries an absurd amount of ammunition, so I'm really not afraid to just unleash. I wish our Lukes didn't play like that, but only so much we can do. This tank is very much sniper-like. I wouldn't call it strictly a sniper by any means, and I'm blind. I don't have much for vision, so let's see where we can help out. Trying to see if I can see him through that little window. No, he's not tall enough. Well, he's blind too. Did cramini. Feel like coated optics really giving me the edge here. Like I said, not much to know about this tank. It's pretty straightforward. Tier 4 TD. It's more of a medium, but you don't have armor, so. That dude was low health. I wonder if I was like blind firing him the entire time. Or was he? Use your mini-map, folks. It's a lifesaver. So, for TDs, is it better to have coated optics, knowing you might have to do some moving, or the binocs and not have view? It depends on the TD. Like, for a Sturv, I'd go binos, because you're more of a sit-back. Some people like to play it brawly, but... Excuse me. And if you're going to play it like a brawler, play with optics, but if you're going to sit in the back, play with binos. It really depends. Like, I'm kind of playing mid-range. I'm not too far or too close to anything. What's up, Sturgy? Thank you for the shout out for Sturgy. I'm pretty sure I've done well over 1,000 damage. And I mean well over. I mean, I've fired way more ammunition than I usually do. But yeah, for Gwym, it really just depends on what tank destroyer you're using. I can go through most of mine, but it depends. Sometimes I don't even use vision equipment. Holy shit. I did maybe 900 visible damage. 900 visible damage. I wrecked them. Holy crap. That is hilarious. And that's the power of the M8A1 with 57mm. If you know where the enemies are, you can absolutely dominate. Damn. What a good opening match for today. These are all my American tank destroyers. All of them. Tier 4 and up. Well, actually, I think they only exist tier 4 and up. So, I don't always use vision. But for certain ones, some of it's also just about like what I had at the time, because I may have been running low on credits. Like This isn't going to stay. I'm probably going to drop the camo net. I might keep the binos. The Wolverine has armor, so there's not 100% of a reason for me to sit still, but at the same time, this thing's not easy to, or this thing is super easy to kill. It only has 38 millimeters of hull armor. So, Jackson, I use optics because I've got armor, so I'm moving. Hellcat, I use binos because I have no armor and I shouldn't move. T78, I have some armor, but I try to sit back and do my own. So it's just a TD by TD basis. Usually the more armor I use optics, the less armor I use binos. A STRV line, I would say, is debatable because I know you can play it aggressively, but I don't. So for aggressive play, if you want to be looking for enemies still, I would bring optics, but I play it as a sniper, so more times than not, so I use binos. Like, I don't use any optics for this. I stay blind. The T25AT, I solely do for DPM and gun handling. And mobility, technically, with an IRM. So it's just situational, Gwim. I'd say the more armor you have, optics, less armor you have, binos. But it's also personal preference. You can never go wrong with binos on certain maps. Yeah, so we'll get there in due time. Right now, we're gonna move up to tier 5. Now, I have a much better crew on this one. Probably a dumb question. Is there armor threshold, like, above this armor amount you have good armor? It just depends on the tank. I'd say if it's comparable to a heavy tank, an actual heavy tank, you're okay. So, like, we're at tier 5. So let's bring out some heavies. Strictly go to tier 5 for a second. So I have 57 turret armor, 38 frontal hull. I have no side armor, 19 millimeters. It's just not enough to side scrape. I'm not a big touchy Percy, Sturgy. I'm really not. But yeah, it'll be cool to see everyone, for sure, when I go to Aquino. Now this is a heavy tank. I have 75 frontal, 110 turret. What's a good example? 178 turret, 95. So I don't think there's a TD at this tier that could classify as heavy that I can think of off the top of my head. German, maybe. Okay, so like this one's a little heavier. You've got 80 millimeters. I still wouldn't play it up front though. You could get away with either optics or binos on these ones because they're kind of a weird hybrid. But it's just the threshold. I'd say if it can compete with the heavy, it can. I'd say that's good armor or a medium. But mediums are hit and miss, so it depends. I don't know how to explain it in a good way, Gwyn. So, like, maybe I can do it here. So the Jackson. The AT8 has good armor. Yeah, if I'm to do it strictly from the American line, the Jackson right here has good armor. I have 114 in the front, so that makes it very kind of bouncy. I mean, it's not amazing for tier 6, but it's not bad. And then 76 turret armor, so my turret's weaker than this, but it's good. It can play up front. I'd still probably play mid-range, though. 89 millimeters of sloped armor on the T25AT is, if you get hull down, this thing is a beast. That's why I 3-marked it. I love this thing. This is a very underrated tank. Unfortunately, it is not one of the ones we are playing today. Even though the T28 concept on paper has super good armor at 203 millimeters turret and chassis, the chassis is better, but these are very easy to pen turret cheeks. But the AT8 does have good armor, just like a T28, for example, has good armor. It's just it has weak spots, you know, on top, lower plate. If you angle over slightly, they can go in. It's just a tank by tank basis. Yeah, I'm gonna drop the camo net. I really don't need it. I know it's expensive, but I don't really care. Yeah, I mean, it's something you kind of have to like experiment with. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was a terrible player when I first began, so I went for tanks that sounded really cool on any line. So I was like, whoa, the Crusader, whoa, the Hellcat, and I went for the Hellcat. I would brawl with heavies, brawl, you know. The Hellcat has 13 millimeters of armor. Tier 1s could kill me. I would get blapped all the time. So, just takes some learning. The Wolverine. Pretty solid all-rounder. You have gained some armor, not a lot. You still have a fast rate of fire if you're using the 76 millimeter. Actually, you should have a fast rate of fire, period. Yeah. So if you're using the upgraded 76 millimeter, excuse me, I have a 2.75 reload. My DPM is at 2500. Negative 10 degrees of gun depression. My gun traverse speed's a little slow, which is why I did a IRM. Increase the speed a bit. Armor's okay. I really can't side scrape. I probably could with this excess plate that hangs over the tracks, but I couldn't over angle. I only go 12 backwards. That's tragic, but I can go up to 48 forwards. I don't have much camo. I'm blockier, and my commander's my only good one. And with binos up, I have over max view range. Otherwise, it's about 390-ish without the binos up. And yeah, that's that. It's a more sluggish, slightly more armored M8A1. I forgot to pop boosters that last battle. We should probably do that. I might play this one a couple times. I did say I would play some of them, so once or twice today. As I don't have a lot of content update for... I'm kind of just recording right off the rip, so I don't have to wait for interaction, you know, kind of get used to talking to the camera a bit. So I've already stated that I'm gonna just start uploading my videos. So I know on my YouTube, if you copy and paste my link, it brings you to my channel. I did directly upload my last one right after stream, but the issue remained that I put it hidden until I got the other 2 episodes up, but the other 2 episodes I can't edit. So I'm just going to upload them and label them as unedited. I will try to put a start time skip thing in the comments or the description if I can figure out how to do that. So that way no one has to sit through the intro of silence. Oh, you shush. And then if in the future I will just probably be uploading them directly, and if I have editing to do, I'll figure it out. Easy peasy. Oh man, what I would have killed to have this map when I was scouting the other, like a couple weeks ago. I still had a very useful game, so. So this is going to be a game of patience. I'm going to play like a sniper should. It's going to be a long game, most likely. It depends on who has the better scout. And on paper, we have the better scout. But actual skill-wise, I don't know. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, for those who don't know, if you're in Prokhorovka, you can get spotted while doing this, but I got lucky. This tree on the outside of the map, if you have HE loaded and your caliber's big enough... Oh no. I didn't knock it down the exact way I wanted, but I don't think a KV-1SA is going to spot me, so I'm not too worried. So now, hiding up here, I'm going to act as the second eyes for my team. And spot to about, I think, roughly right here. And I'm just going to chill. Tank Destroyer's purpose doesn't solely have to be tank destroying. It can be spotting. Because most tank destroyers have pretty good camo and excellent V range. Most. The T-25AT does not fall in that range. So I'm lucky. There's no one who can spot me. So yeah, I'm just going to chill up here and wreck their entire team. As often as they let me. And if their scout dies here shortly... I mean, he's already damn near dead. Me and the scout should easily have this. Hey, Brett. Hope you're well, too. Howdy, Jazz. Oh, so many people. Hello, everyone. Right now we're playing the Wolverine. Looks like my scout's doing the Lord's work right now. Pulled the trigger on the CS. So you got a CS63? I don't know if I got a discount, but I bought them online, so... Full send, full send. Yikes. Those jumbos ain't. Those jumbos ain't anything to mess around with. Right now, we're just kind of doing the typical sniper thing right now. We're hitting whoever's lit and doing our best to whittle them down. Right now, we have the best line of sight on anyone because we're up high. And you can, from the knockdown tree, you're supposed to knock it more this way, but I failed. You can use these bushes to crawl up as long as you know where the enemies are. We're just chilling. Right now I have the most vision in this game. I don't think anyone could really tell me otherwise. What I need to know is where that heavy tank is. There is someone... Someone's got an idea where I am. The issue my team had is we were spread out through here, and then everyone collapsed to this corner. So when everyone collapsed to the southern corner, it's basically over. If I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna have to fall back to my original spot. The issue is I'm really only spotting for the bush line, so I'm not as useful to the rest of the map this way. This tank does not carry as many shells as the M8A1, so I should really start being careful with how many I'm firing. I know I have plenty of shells left, but in the long game. Retreating is the wrong answer. And that's why. So we're going to practice our camo mechanics. The issue is this little tree is giving them all the cover they need. But I've put them in a very dangerous predicament. It's a tough game. But Prokhorovka's always a long/tough game. Was really hoping I'd kill him. If I knew the health of the other tanks, I actually might be able to pull this off if I can stay camoed. Yeah, that's why you don't do that. Vision is how we win. I don't have enough hit points to sit there and get lit. Shit. $600 HP. I can probably do it. I need time though, and that's something I don't have. And this is already a loss. It's a draw at best. This was a game of patience, and unfortunately, both teams waited a bit too long. Going out on a Top Gun, I'll take it. Not a lot I could do. So close. I mean, it's a solid tank. It's just that was not the situation for me. All things considered, I will take it. It was a class 1 on a draw, which is huge. And then there's 2,300 damage. Just shy of my already, which means my team was slacking. Good criminy. This guy was on my line the entire time. I don't know how you only fire twice. I could not have tried to make that victory any easier. But our scout went out, he did his best, and then inevitably I follow suit. Actually, I didn't even die, but I couldn't keep up. I'd say we're pretty good on tier 5. And here's where the divide happens, and we trade out some of the armor we had for mobility and no armor. So yeah, we trade everything. Survivability for mobility. So this is the Hellcat. I'm running Rammer Binos exhaust to keep that camo up. I have very limited ammunition as I use the 90mm. Has 240 alpha, 160 standard pen, 243 gold pen, which is huge. 7-second reload, minus 10 degrees of gun depression, 2000 DPM. Pretty solid. You have 0 armor to speak of. It's not even worth trying to survive. You might bounce something off your mantlet if someone aims at your turret, but don't ever count on it. You go 72 forwards, 12 backwards. Crazy. 36% camo, almost 37. And with binos, 462 view range, which is probably closer to 370 without the binos. So yeah, there is a competitive gun on this. I know some people like to use the 76mm. Your gun loading is a lot faster. So you have a 3-second reload, 2200 DPM, so about 200 DPM higher, maybe a little more considering my equipment. But you have no alpha. It's at 115, and your penetration is significantly less. So if you're willing to spam gold all day, every day, the smaller gun's probably for you, but you're working with 177 pen. For me, I like the 90. Penetration value's better at 160 and 243. So, I mean, it's a very, very quick and speedy decider. We'll play it a couple times. I like the Hellcat. It's been a while. I keep forgetting to pop boosters, so let's do that. Very popular tank, in its OG form. It used to be very nimble with turret rotation too, and then they nerfed it, so the turret rotation kind of sucks. But the Super Hellcat, I believe, at tier 7 is what this Hellcat used to be. So, hey Brett, don't force yourself into uncomfortable situations. Aquino will be around every year. I think. As you can see, this thing really starts to pick up speed. It's bouncy. You've got no armor. That's how you're able to go so quick. As you can see, my bloom is huge with the 90mm, but once you aim it in, it's really not that bad. The rounds are very limited on this, so you do not want to go through all of them. I think you carry 30. So blind firing too often is not really an option. Apparently 160 is not even good enough to go through the front of a Challenger. Worth a shot. Oh my god. Target rich environment. This is the life. This is true, Brett. This is true. Shit, that's not good. Looks like I'm spotter. Well, as you can see, getting spotted is not ideal on the slightest in this thing. Good criminy. Yeah. Shouldn't have been greedy on that last bit. I probably should have fallen back immediately and like over here, somewhere where they weren't already aiming. Staying in the same spot was bad. It was a good opening, though. Oh, we have a scout up still? What a bastard. And we move on. Will I be able to move on? I will. So one of the premiums for this line at tier 6 is probably one of my personal favorites. It's a T78. It's like the Hellcat, but in my opinion, better in almost every way. Even though it's technically a little worse, I love this thing. And I run IRM Binos Rammer. This thing's amazing. 10 degrees of gun depression, 2000 DPM, even though it's almost exactly the same. I even debatably have less armor. No, I have more armor. Yeah, 25 millimeters instead of 13. I don't go nearly as fast. I go 2 kilometers an hour backwards faster. The traverse speed is faster on the T78. I don't have as much camo, but it's still a favorite of mine. It's just a premium Hellcat, basically. So, yeah, we're just gonna go for it. This is easily one of my favorite tier 6 premiums, if not my favorite tier 6 premium. I always do pretty decent in this thing. Oh boy. I don't care for this map. We will go back to the Hellcat and I'll give it another go. But these two are basically one and the same. I just don't run camo on this thing because I'm a little more up front more times than not, I would suppose. As you can see, this thing hits its max speed pretty quick, but I'm also on a slope, so... yeah. Turret traverse is a little faster, even though it doesn't feel like it. Hellcat's turret traverse isn't that great anymore. They really nerfed it a while back. It looks like it was a winning fight, though, so good on my team. Ain't that fucking terrifying. I don't like the KV2 where he's at, and I need to get out of here. I need to find a way to whittle him down from where he's at. Yeah, this is not good. My team is already at a crippling loss. And I mean that literally. This is bad. It's like half my team just committed suicide. So I might give this one another go too, as this has not been eventful in the less than 3 minutes I have been in here. I might have to run. I don't even know what to do. I can't hold off anywhere. Might be able to hold off from here. Maybe. Oh, come on. We got each other. I'm sorry if I got quiet. I was really focused on surviving as long as I could. I had to take the shot. He was too cocky just sitting there capping, sitting out with his fucking tracks out. Nah, dude. Nah. I held out as long as I could. But as you can see, this thing holds its own, and it does have some armor. A lot of that was luck, too, but 2,500 damage? I only have 600 health, so almost 700, so not a bad game. And that KV2 went unharmed the entire game. There we go. God, he's got bad aim, too. This is just painful to watch. I held on for dear life. Especially with how much of a loss it was, I'm surprised we got that close to bringing it back. If I had killed that 3485, instead of bouncing off his fucking turret, I think I could have gotten a lot closer to clutching it. Not bad, though. A second high caliber for today, so that's big. Yikes. Yeah, very brutal. Their team was definitely better rounded. The other guy at the top of my team was a Sebro dude. Sebro 5. Good on him. GG. So we're gonna go try the Hellcat one more time, and then give the T78 another go. Some fun tier 6 paper TDs. Always a good time. I didn't see his name. I can check after. He was... Yeah. Alright. Back to the Hellcat. This is a tier 8 match, so this is less than favorable. I need to have an all gold loadout when I'm fighting tier 8s. I'll hang out here. Oh, it was Pete J. He's in this game too. Petge. Peta. PTA. I don't know. Pet JE. Ugh, the game of patience. It's kind of the life of a Hellcat because you can't really do anything else. Especially in this map. Oh, he definitely saw someone. Last time I tried to peek and from like here and shoot over there, I got lit by the E25. That was where the bat chat or Borat was. Fuck. Just had to open my mouth, didn't I? Of course a scout can mount my rounds, why not? The fact that that was just allowed to happen, like RNG just deemed it so, is bullshit. What? I'm... This dude... Are you fucking serious? Oh my god. RNG my ass, bro. That's just straight rigged. Look me in the fucking eye, Wargaming, and tell me that wasn't rigged as fuck. Oh my god, that was horrible. Bounce off a scout twice with AP. As if my normalization and everything else wasn't enough to fucking tear it up. Oh, we got that Cbro 5 guy. He's good, whoever he is. He's the guy that helped me out last match. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to slip back in here. Or not. They're clearly coming up through mid. And no one from my team has vision, so... yeah. Because, you know, should totally be able to face tier 8s. Borat can just two-shot me. He hit me once and over half my HP is gone. Yeah, so I guess I'm just chilling here. There is quite literally nothing else I can do other than wait for my demise. Bye, dude. This is the only position we own. Oh boy, not a good day for my Hellcat. And our Sioux drowned himself. That's a reporting. Can't back up anymore. I wanted to knock down another tree. And I can't. At least not the direction I want to. Don't go seeking it. Who's watching our ass? Good criminy, I hate when people just abandon a flank. Okay, well apparently they just know where I am. There's too many people missing. There's the Kilana that's missing. I don't like that at all. Well, not a good day to be a Hellcat. My first game was a bit better. I had a really good opening. This game was very painful. Harder to talk through Tank Destroyer games because, in this case, the early stages of the T110E4 are kind of sit back and snipe tanks. Yeah, that was a really bad game for my team. Good on this dude, though. That's our Sebro guy. He's pretty good. Yeah, let's do one more in the T78, and then we'll move on to Tier 7. I'd say when you hit Tier 8 on this line, you get a bit more into this focusing on being kind of a support heavy rather than a sit-back tank destroyer. And I like the sit-back style, but it really leaves me little to talk about for this stream. Is there a line anyone would like to see me go up later? Like next stream? Or a tank destroyer line that piques anyone's fancy? So I'm going to hang out in the mid to the 9-0 line. Stick to the bushes. See how long I can hold out. My biggest nemesis are obviously scouts and the E25. That is possibly going to hurt me the most. The E25 is already lit. This changes things. My vision's pretty damn good in this tank, so I am not worried in the slightest. Almost all my problems are solved. Almost. SP1C out of here. Not a fan of that. One thing I do hate about this flank is it really is easy as shit to spot just about anyone anytime. So there's never a time I'm truly hidden. And all I'm trying to do is be the one that spots first. And shoots first, for that matter. Looks like the E25 has abandoned this flank, which is good, because now it's time for me to go reinforce. I am going to load gold, though, because I don't like those Thunderbolts with their heavy extra spatial plating. Spaced armor. Spatial plating sounds so weird. This stupid little tree right there is blocking me. Damn it, it's still blocking me. And that's what makes or breaks the game. Granted, my scout could do something. This looks like another loss. Looks like my team mostly went beach. I don't know how many times I have to say it, but if you go beach, you're a fucking idiot. You cannot win. I don't know if any of you have studied D-Day, but technically the Germans won that. Like, yeah, we took it after losing, you know, more bodies than we ever should have. Thankfully, that little tree is also providing me cover, so. Don't rush him, please. I need him to come to me. Don't do it. Don't do it. We can do this. You just have to fuck off. I have to do this myself. What's your new favorite quote? Exactly, he's just gotta fuck off. Good news is I know where all their people are, and I have time to escape. Not a ton, but I have time. What the fuck did that go? was left alone. All my scouts were playing just out of place. I have one back here by the beach. It's just not a good day to play Tier 6. My Tier 5 game was fine, my Tier 4 game was fine, my Tier 6 games have just been... I guess my last T78 one wasn't bad, I just lost. But both performances were pretty lackluster, and my teams have been pretty bad. Only so much I can do. I don't know why scouts insist on trying to do damage when they still have tank destroyers available. Alright, so from the Hellcat to the Tier 7 T25-2. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on a lot of tanks from here, because we've got, I think, 5 different tanks to go. 6 we got, because we're going to do the Super Hellcat. We'll do the T28 Prot, the T30, and the T110E4. So I think I'm just going to cruise through and do a lot more explaining instead of any extra battles. I might do an extra 10 depending on how games go. So T25-2, you are now with your your 90mm. It's a little better than the one you get from the Hellcat. You got 10 extra standard pen and about 15 better gold pen. You still have 240 alpha. It's really not a huge upgrade. You get a little bit of, well, from the Hellcat, you get a hell of an armor buff. You get 76mm of frontal armor now, which is very nice. Not fantastic at Tier 7, but not bad. 51mm of side armor, not horrible. 850 hit points, your DPM's 2200-ish. 10 degrees of gun depression. 56 forwards, 15 backwards. 29 degrees per second turning, very nice. A little to no camo. This thing is where you start losing a lot of your camo, because you start becoming more and more chunky and armored. And with binos, 486 view range. It's a pretty solid Tier 7. I wouldn't love it by any means, but if you run into a Tier 9 match, your gold rounds are more than enough to compete. And look at that. I'm in a Tier 9 match. So we're just going to get right into it. You're a bit bigger than the Hellcat. You don't have near as thin armor, which is a plus, but you are still easy to kill. I don't know where I want to go here, because this is not a fun map to play, especially when the enemy scouts have CVS. Not friendly to a Tier 7, considering Tier 7s can't even use it. So I'm going to see what I can do. Our Sharfu Tour has not even loaded into the game yet, so this is not looking good at all. So I guess I'm going to kind of snipe over here and move as needed, but I don't really feel like going anywhere outrageous. Looks like this Leo wants the spot I wanted. I guess reasonably so. Ooh, it is a needle thread. This is not fun. Feathering for the target. Upside. I guess we've made some decent trades. Yikes. Moved up a little too far, which indicates there's scouts probably there. I don't know what else could have seen me. Yeah, he's there. He's definitely there. So if he's not here, he's definitely in this small cluster. He's there. I know Sharam Ali didn't spot me. Or Hawk 30's in the cliche spot. Which means I'm probably not going to reliably pen with HE. It's also looking like we're not going to get this either. Like, I'm doing my best, but I have to expose myself every 2 seconds in order to get a shot off. Because I can. He's definitely in that bush because I got lit the moment I fucking popped. I think I hit him. Yeah, I'm not going to spend too much time. Like I said, the things are going to start picking up. My teams are just bad. It's just... It is what it is. It was like that for me yesterday, too. I was struggling to win, no matter how well I was doing. I think I had 4 games in a row in my AMBT where I did like 3,300 plus damage, and I could not win to save my life. So we're just going to keep moving. So, Super Hellcat is basically the Hellcat in its original form. So here, what we'll do to make this easier is we'll add it to the comparison tool in the game, so I don't have to go out of game to do this. Super Hellcat, bam, 6 or 7 millimeters more penetration, even though it's a tier higher. Fires about half a round faster. Your reload's about 0.4 faster. Your gun traverse is a whole 6 degrees fast, 6.5 degrees faster. You have a little less gun elevation. You have still 10 degrees of gun depression. Accuracy and aim time are exactly the same. DPM's a little higher on the Super Hellcat. Armor profile's exactly the same. I never realized the back of the turret was the thickest part of the tank. That's actually quite hilarious. Yeah, it's basically borderline the same. On my Super Hellcat, you go 20 backwards, which is amazing. And my camo's a little lower because they use different crews, so yeah, that's the comparison tool. So we're going to play a quick round in the Super Hellcat and then keep moving forward because I've got 4 more tanks after this one. We've got the Tier 8, the Tier 8 Premium, the Tier 9, and the Tier 10. I'm not trying to rush them, but I don't like these streams when I upload them to be a little over like 2 hours. There was really nothing I could do in that last match. My team fell apart too quickly and my scouts played poorly. Oof. Well, this is a terrible map. I can only hide in one spot, basically, maybe 2. So this is really not going to be that entertaining. I also am running a camo net instead of exhaust, so I would highly recommend exhaust over camo nets unless you're running a STRV. STRV. Sturgsvan. So yeah, let's do what we can. It's going to be kind of difficult to figure it out for a bit, but it's kind of a garbage map. It really is curried to hold down mediums and heavies. Damn. I don't expect to do well here. This is probably not going to be a great game. There's nothing I can do, really. You do hold the exact same amount of ammo as a Hellcat with a 90mm as well, so you only carry 30 rounds. That was a bad place for that 825. We're already a lot of hit points down, and the enemy's moving fast in the north. Flinched slightly downward when I fired. That was maybe. So this is kind of a weird one, as it was a reward tank. It's great and all. It doesn't make credits, and I don't know why they put it at tier 7. It's a very awkward thing to do. I'm tempted to fall back. Yeah, I gotta fall back. This is also not going to be a good game. My team completely rolled over. I don't know if I'll get more than 2 or maybe 3 shots off. This is a real bad day to be playing World of Tanks. The past couple days have been pretty bad, honestly. The matchmaker's just been unhinged at letting me know what it really thinks of me. Damn it. Took that turn too sharply. Shit.
Enemy armor is damaged.
He's looking at me.
Penetration.
Really struggling staying hidden right now.
Penetration.
I'm just gonna take it.
We didn't even scratch them.
Run! Run!
Critical hit.
I'm not useless. Oh, nice try, bitch boy. Better run. Was I still lit?
Bail out. This vehicle is hacked.
I thought I was fucking cloaked at that point. Whatever. Yeah, I did okay considering I thought I wouldn't get any damage off, so. This is not a good day. Not having a good time, but we're gonna carry on. One of the premiums, I'm gonna go over it first. That I'm not too tempted to try out because the crew doesn't 100% fit. Now, let me double check myself. Okay, it'll kind of fit in E4 crew, but this is the XM66F. It is really solid, chunky TD. It's got its own dedicated loader from a E4 crew wargaming gave me way back. It's more or less to train the E4 line, considering they have a 5 crew member thing. The issue is it can't train a T28 prot crew because on this tank, commander is the radio operator, and on the T28 they have their own dedicated radio operator. So you can still use the crew, you're just not gonna get, you're gonna lose a skill basically if you have any radio skills on the commander. Good God. As you can see, folks, it is not a good day to play World of Tanks. I'm obviously doing something right, but my teams are doing something horrifically wrong. Like, all my stats are green minus assist, and I don't even care about that much. Anyway, we're going to skip the XM66F then. It's just a much better version of a T28 Prot. It's low profile, 10 degrees of gun depression. It's a solid tank. I also need to figure out why it's set up like this again, so we're just going to go to the T28 Prot. So the T28 Prot, as you can see, we are a behemoth now, so stealth is no longer an option. Thank God, right? I'm tired of sitting in the back. I like to be up front. So 203 frontal armor, very nice. As you can see, the chassis does come over the track, so you got to be aware of that. 51 millimeters of side armor, which means you can... It would take 154 millimeter gun or higher to overmatch your sides. However, again, your chassis goes over your track, so you got to be careful. So you can side scrape, just be super careful. The armor is very flat. That's the issue. So even though you have 203 millimeters, your chassis is kind of solid, but you are very flat. Your turret cheeks, tanks will go right through them. Let's get into the gun though. 105 millimeter. Let me make sure. Oh, geez, 120. My bad. 105 is kind of competitive though, but it's a gold spam fest. So, 120 millimeter. Very nice gun. With 248 standard pen, 297 gold pen, very lovely, 2800 DPM, huge, almost 3K. You weigh about 67 tons, so do not ram this thing. This thing is slow. It only goes 28 forwards, 10 backwards, so once you pick a path, you've got to commit to it. I'd probably, take a turbo build. Let me look at the gun real quick to make sure. I think I went with improved aiming because I had extra equipment, but 0.32 dispersion with improved aiming isn't bad. So it'd be 0.34 without it, which wouldn't be bad at all, and you could easily put a turbo, which I'd say is probably a decent choice. But we're going to live with our situation and just go into battle. This thing is, it's beastly. Back in the day before power creep, I would roll this with the heavies and be up front. It used to be one of my favorite tanks. Now, not so much, because it cannot play like that anymore. But in a matchup like this, maybe. We're going to try. A flush match with decent heavies to go up against. The only thing that would take me out is if that BZ's spamming heat. Or the Kari or the TS5 are there. I just call those formidable opponents. So, yeah, from going nimble and quick to heavy and slow. Your HE pen is about 60 millimeters, which is at no means bad, but you're just not going to be using it often. I always carry about 2 to 3 rounds, unless the gun is useless. But 120 millimeters, nothing to shrug at. I'm kind of cruising along, I know. I haven't had many good games today, but I did not like that Super Hellcat one, if I'm being honest. So I'll be directly uploading all the previous episodes plus this episode's between today and tomorrow, for sure, onto YouTube, and then I will unhide the one from last stream. So we will do that. For any of my audience, I would please love recommendations on what line to do next time. I'm thinking a scout line. I already did the AMX scout line. So maybe a scout line recommendation. The cat line.
Critical hit.
But I need a... I have all the tanks in the Remmental Panzerwagen line. So I could potentially do that. I'm kind of disappointed that their mutant went through mid.
Penetration. Enemy is hit. Enemy armor is damaged.
So I'm kind of brutalizing my way through here now because it's kind of what the enemy did to us. Ooh.
Killed our driver.
The fuck did he? He just went straight through me with an AP round cross map.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
I do not like this. I'm gonna work on my stream a bit and see if I can pull up how to do a vote thing so we can vote for tank lines on what I should do next. It's definitely going to be a scout line next time. It has to be. Ow. Fuck, that hurts.
Penetration.
That almost fucking landed too.
Gotcha.
Nice.
We're dead for
Of course,
it. Get out.
the one person I expected to be in the city that I forgot all about. Lovely TS5. Alright, not a horrid game for me, not great. The enemy team did not play like I thought they would, so that really threw a wrench in my plans. The fuck is this dude doing? Let's just move on. Oh, what's up, Six Pack? Appreciate it. I don't know how much longer I'll be on. I've got to play my T30, that E4, and then I'm going to dip out. Until next time. You have any recommendations on what scout line I should play next time? I'm thinking... I did the AMX 13105, so... Anyway, this is my T30. My most prized and played tank. I say most prized, but let's be real, it's my most played. This thing fell out of love with me a while back. It is, bam, my most played tank. I've 2 marked it. I've had amazing games in it. I hated this thing when I first got it. I loved it, and then I hated it again because Wargaming nerfed the shit out of it. So, or power creeped it. They didn't nerf it. But we'll see what we can do. The armor profile is actually very gross. You can pen this thing almost anywhere. The turret armor occasionally holds up, but this forehead right here is actually very weak. Other than that, you can sometimes go through the mantlet. You can go through the sides over here about 50% of the time. And obviously the chassis is not much to work with. It's outdated, but part of me still loves this thing. Now mine's built for ultimate DPM and some gun handling, so it's got bond and bounty equipment fully upgraded. So T30, behemoth back in the day. This is 750 alpha, 276 millimeters of standard pen, 320 gold pen, 90 HE pen. This thing is a 155 millimeter gun. It is a beast. 10 degrees of gun depression. My loading time is 15.8 seconds. I have 2,800 and a half DPM. My chassis armor is only 102. It's not great. 279 turret armor. Doesn't matter. The turret's a weird shape, and it's not like the T29. It is worse, but who knows? Maybe this thing will treat me okay for the first time in a while. Oh, good. My team won. I would have been disappointed. Yeah, it's 65 tons. Don't ram this thing. This thing goes 35 forwards, 12 backwards. You have no camo. It's at 8%. And my view range is 453. It is a behemoth. Let's go. I almost had this thing 3 marked. The highest I ever got was 90%, and I think I'm at 70 something now. This thing has not treated me well. And I also scarcely play it. Like, I lost it over a small period of time. And then you lose a big percentage after not playing for a certain amount of time as well. I'm going to be a scum and use a full gold loadout. The enemy has 2 T95s. I'll play their game. They also have Ho-Ri 3s. This is less than favorable. But this thing used to be more of a support heavy. In the way back days, the T30 was the top tier American heavy at tier 9. And then the game started evolving. So, first things first, I have to decide where I want to go here. And I don't really care for this map, so... But I also don't want to get in an actual heavy tank sway, so... This is the joy of a T30. Who knows, maybe I'll have a cracking game in this thing. I'd say running food is optional. I have caught on fire a few times in this thing. It is less than ideal. So I think what I did was I trained up a fighting crew so I could afford to catch on fire and use food. If I'm not mistaken, it was a pretty good trade-off. I don't like this guy. I want him to go away from me. If there's anything I've learned after the T30's been power crept, it's patience is your friend. I can be up front, but it's still not ideal by any means. Like, I'd love nothing more than to cross, but I guarantee there's someone, like, right here. There's obviously ways around it. This guy originally was going that way, and then he changed his mind. Oh.
Enemy armor is hit.
As you can see, armor didn't hold up. That's just our luck. Granted, he's not going to be able to weed me out easily. And I not him. My issue is he may have support back there. Oh, Jesus. I flinched hard on that. That was a bad shot on me. Don't blame the T30 on that one.
Penetration.
The upside of this entire line is that for 750 alpha, you have a fully traversable turret. That's big. That is really big.
Enemy is hit.
I'm repositioning again. I want to start harassing this lore and BZ and whoever else is over here. Now all I need to do is wait.
Enemy armor is damaged.
Why do I have a yagged panzer in the field? Good criminy, man. My fear is I'm going to get flanked from behind now. Yep, called it on cue. And the one and only thing to do is kill myself by going right into whatever trap they have.
Enemy armor is hit. One of our trucks is damaged.
Yeah.
We're good for everyone.
Love this tank, but that was probably honestly one of my better games in a while in it. But my teams are just atrocious today. I'll take 3700 any day. It was a pretty solid one. I had one bad shot where I fucking flinched at the last second. There's just too many people who don't know what they're doing in this game. Like, I don't know what the fuck the Rhino thought of being here. I got a Jaegeru out there. Got a Jaegeru back here. These are tanks that can do some absolute damage if they're where they need to be. And unfortunately, they weren't where they needed to be. So the enemy just walked over our guys. It's a damn shame. Anyway, can't be too mad. 3,700. Let's be real, I probably did top damage on my team. Minus maybe the Rhino, who might be doing the Lord's work. Crown Jewel. The T110E4 with this ridiculous skin that I love. I built it for gun handling to have a snappy gun because 3-second aim time is garbage. 2.7 to be exact. This thing kind of is support heavy. And you can only turn the gun 90 degrees both ways. You have 750 alpha, 295 standard pen, 375 gold pen, which is huge. 16.2 second reload. Only 6 degrees of gun depression. So this is where you finally lose that trend of having 10 degrees the entire time. Oops, wrong one. 2.7 aim time, 0.33 dispersion, which is not bad. Roughly about 2,800 DPM, 2,000 HP. The hull armor stronger than the turret armor. Remember that. You always want to aim for the cheeks or the cupola when firing at this tank, unless you can get a decent lower plate shot, but the hull armor is 260 millimeters, so this is all thicker than this, so you want to aim for the turret. Still 65-ton tank, even though it's a completely different tank. 35 forward, 10 backwards. Not ideal. Turbo is not a bad idea on this tank. You are a support heavy. You can be in the middle, but you can't be too many other places. Called it. Rhino beat me, but only by 20 HP. Yeah, that was pretty bad. Yeah, no camo, and I don't run any optic kind of BS on this, so we're at 420 view range. Let's build another loadout, shall we? Let's do the same build. Except what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to run a food build, because I don't think I have, and the boost to view range would be nice. So now I have 2900 DPM, which is pretty big. So let's go. This is the crown jewel. Hopefully this is the best game of the day, because this is my final game before I log off. Sorry if today's felt rushed. I wanted to take more time, but I realized that my computer really can't do more than 2-hour recordings, and until I upload all these videos, I'm running out of space. So like I said, I'll upload them, and I will label them as unedited for the 2 previous ones, and this one just comes straight from the stream, so I'm not worried about it. This one's kind of a rough one. Yep, this thing's like a support heavy. It doesn't have a lot of armor. Kind of. So we'll try to make this work out the best we can. This is a less than ideal map. If this goes too poorly, let's just hope it doesn't. A little funny little cowboy hat on my periscope. Yeehaw. This was definitely one of the more amusing purchases I've made. But this is my first tier 10. I mainly went up it because there was a tank called a Hellcat on it. Literally it. Okay, you go deal with that. I'll go deal with this. Yeah, that's where that 6 degrees of gun depression is kicking my ass right now. Yeah. That angled lower plate's still going to be a weak spot. My fear is there's a bigger gun sitting here, which is why I don't want to peek. This is not fun. I do not like this map in the slightest. I don't even see where he hit me.
We're done for. Everyone get out.
Well, wish I could edit that one out. Yeah, he had a clean shot on me. On the side of me. Yeah, I lost faith in this tank pretty quick originally. The T30 became my favorite, which is why it was my most played. I don't even think I've played this thing 100 times, or I played it about 100 times. I'm not a fan of the E4. The Mouse is my favorite T10. Heavy. For TD, I think it's the Jaegeru. Oh, I've played it almost 200 times. Okay. The favorite light medium is my Leopard. Favorite heavy medium's the E50. I think the Germans own like most of my favorite tanks. Except Scout. They don't own Scout. The Remmentile is fun, but we'll give it another go. That was so bad, I'm willing to give it another go. It's a terrible map. I played poorly. We'll give it another look-see. I'm going to look into some of the scout lines. I'm missing... I want to own all the tanks of a scout line if I'm going to stream and talk about it. I could do the Remmentile Panzerwagen. I'm nowhere... I need at least 2 more for the American, for the Russian, 2 more for the British. I'm not counting the cruiser. I need 3 more for the wheeled scouts. So, scouts, it might just be the Remmentile next week, unless someone makes a request. Or maybe I could find out something else to talk about, actually talk all stream. This one's kind of been rough. Yeah. But we'll give the E4 another go. We could be waiting a moment. So we will wait a moment. Yeah, this we'll go over this, I guess, in the meantime. This was the new premium Wargaming came out with a bit ago. I couldn't tell you how long ago, but it's new-ish. It's a very solid tank destroyer. Excuse me. Ignoring the view range, which is relatively poor. I mean, 400 alpha damage, 232 standard pen, 276 gold pen, 8-second reload. Turret only moves 30 degrees both ways, but you sit low and have 10 degrees of gun depression. And this armor is 230 thick on the turret. So it's pretty solid. You obviously got your weak spot cupolas and stuff, but they're not easy to hit, especially when you're, aiming up at it. It's a really good tank. I don't have too much to say about it. 2900 deep, almost 3k DPM basically, with my full crew in here. So I think it's in my T28 prot. But again, I need to sort that crew back out, and I think I'm just going to throw my E4 crew in here instead and get rid of this dude because he doesn't do anything. So yeah, y'all have any questions, let me know. I don't know how long I'll be waiting for that E4, but I hate so many of these maps. It does make a solid support heavy, though, if you can get it in the right situation. Where I should have played is where that other E4 was. I would have been able to utilize my armor better. I gave it to him, though, because I'm stupid and I'm nice, and I shouldn't be. What I'm thinking of is I might do German Scout Line next time. And maybe the Leopard line. I just need to pick up one more tank. I do love the Leopard. After the Leopard, I would need a TD. I could go down the T95 one this time and just pick up from the Jackson. Who knows? Who knows? Let's go check my free awards, shall we? Gotta go to the store, that's right. For those that don't know, you get a free item every day from the store. If you scroll all the way to the bottom. Random daily gift free. Actually got some pretty good stuff in there. I've gotten thousands of gold worth of camo. Thousands of gold worth of camos. Which, yay, camos, I know, but for a free-to-play player, that's pretty nice. I've got, like, made in the USA, made in Sweden. I've gotten a bunch. Okay, maybe not made in the USA. It is possible I used that one, though. But, yeah, this line is a very good support snipey hybrid. The T110E4 line is very brutal brawler in your face almost the entire way. They're very different. I'd say the E4 is probably a little harder to master because you're expected to change playing styles so much. And yeah, just your casual tanker's opinion. It's been a pretty bad day though. I mean, as you can see here, I've lost 7 out of 10 games. I'm playing decent, spare that last game. I played horrible. But it's been brutal today. Meanwhile, while we wait for my E4, I'm going to try to figure out some stuff. Ow. No, I want my stuff. There we go. I'm trying to look for is how to set up votes so I can have people vote for stuff, you know? Like, oh, these are the lines I'm thinking about streaming next, and then have people like pick one. No, that's not it. Close. I'll need to figure it out. I've seen it before. No, that's for me. But I can't figure out how to do it. No. Maybe? Well, I just heard the tank come back, so I'll look at this another day. Alright. It was a victory. Thanks to me, of course. You know what? I'm actually going to waste a booster on that because field mod. And I don't really care. I've got damn near every tank in the game. I'm not going to be hurt by it. Do I want longer aim time, better dispersion? Or less aim time, slightly worse dispersion? Let's do better dispersion. I have improved aiming, so that should make it feel like it's not taking as long. Anyway, one more time. T110E4, crown jewel of the line. Let's go. I say crown jewel. It's the tier 10. I wouldn't say it's a crown jewel by any means. Much like the T110E3 line, I much prefer the tier 9, just like this one. I like the T95 and the T30 more than their tier 10 counterparts. It's just me, though. Everyone has an opinion. I don't like this. But I'm not going to play as a heavy support. I'm going to play as a medium support. And we're going to see how that works out for us. I feel like this could go very well or very bad, and there's not really room for in between. And this guy's already screwing us over. So I am not confident right now. Well, I guess I'm not doing anything, because their scout's where he needs to be, and mine isn't. So what I am going to do, I'm going to aim at his location and blast him to fucking high hell. Oh, I can't. It sits below a slight ridge. That's kind of bullshit. The fuck you want me to do? Oh, please just do it. Go for it, Lion. God, that aim time. I might need to switch that field mod around. I think I'd rather deal with the dispersion issue. This will realistically probably not be a very good game, but if I can squeeze off a couple shots, I think I'll be happy. The fuck? Not a very exhilarating game. The scout held us back and made us paranoid for so long that our IS-7 had to flush him out, and he had already moved. Okay, so we managed to startle their stirve. That's good. That's very good. Now I've just got to survive both Death Stars. One ship barn, one Death Star.
One of our tracks is damaged. Track hit. We're immobilized. We fixed the track. Let's roll.
Well, 2 for 2 I've gotten ship barned, so just chalk it up as a loss and move on with my life, right? Clearly I cannot play this thing to save my damn life. And my team would rather get chipped away by a scout than rush it. Well, this has been a disappointing stream, but bound to happen, right? Wouldn't shock me if the STRV was still not far from me. Yeah, all my help's leaving. Shit. I knew it.
One of our tracks is damaged. We're done for. Everyone get out.
Fucking asswipe. Fucking moron. Well, remember, folks, your own arty's your own worst fucking enemy. So, my team got me killed there. If I could have kept rotating, I'm sure I could have eaten a track shot. Don't think he could go through me frontally without aiming, so. All arty players are menaces. And that's what I'm going to leave y'all with here. It's a shame. At least I had half decent, if not decent, games in most of these other tanks. I am still a little disappointed in most of the outcomes, but we did our best. Other than the one, even the last one in the T110E4. My T110E4 is a shit barn magnet today, so I'll think on a scout line to work next. If anyone wants to see one in action, just let me know, and I'll work on buying the tanks and the equipment for it. Other than that, that concludes this episode. That was the T110E4. Yeah. I will see you all later. Thanks for watching. Bye.